Buenos dias, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. Happy Monday, guys. Happy Monday. God bless you all. It's been a great weekend. I have had some great feedback from some of the videos I've made regarding, the whole Subriel Matias saga, the whole Subriel Matias comments and issues that he had after his loss to Liam Paro, all right? The aftermath, let's call it that way. And I appreciate your comments, guys. I've been thinking about what a true champion is, and I'm gonna tell you a little story, and then we're gonna go straight into meat and potatoes of this particular episode. But I remember, and I'm not comparing myself to any of these guys, great champions or anything like that. But it's a particular story, anecdote. When I was 18 years old and I joined the Marine Corps. I remember when I got to this back in the 70s, right after the Vietnam War. And I got to Parris Island, South Carolina, and it was cold. It was January. It was freezing cold. And I remember that first couple of weeks, everything that I was going through, my idea was that there was no way in hell that I was going to be able to make it through 13 weeks of hell, 13 weeks of Marine Corps boot camp in Parris Island, especially back in those days when they you could physically beat you up. And, it got crazy back in the 70s as far as the abuse some of these drill instructors inflicted on some of the recruits. But the point is that it came to a point that I had two options, all right? One of the options was, fail and spend more time in that hellhole that I needed to be in, because back then, I don't know if it's like that anymore, if you would fail at something, at any other test that they would give you, they could recycle you to a platoon that was behind 2 weeks, so you had to go through the whole thing over again. So there were some people there that had been there for months longer than their graduation date. So that was one of the options, all right? The other option was to say, you know what, no matter what they throw at me, I'm going to try to make it. And we're talking about an 18-year-old, 130-pound kid when I joined the Marines. Carrying and and like they call it, the death marches, we were, marching or, rucking for 10, 15 miles, 30 miles, on a few days. And we're talking about 70 pounds in our backpack, 60, 70 pounds. We used to use back then, the field marching pack. And it was a whole bunch of packs put together. It's totally different back in those days. A lot of the gear weighed a lot more. But make the long story short, I decided to change my mind, my mentality, and instead of changing it from something that was impossible, something that was really hard, to something positive. And I said, I'm going to make it. I'm going to graduate here. April 19th was my graduation date if I would not fail at anything. And lo and behold, out of the 70-something recruits, I don't remember how many they were, original, I think maybe half of them, of the original guys that came in with my original platoon, graduated on April 19th. The rest got recycled, or, who knows what happened to them. But anyway, my point is that Subriel Matias has those two options right now. And any champion that fails has the same two options. Right? He can either lie to himself or he can just say, you know what, I'm gonna admit my shortcomings. I'm gonna admit the wrongs that I did. I'm gonna come clean, and I'm gonna talk to my fans. I'm gonna talk to my people and actually admit where I went wrong. And I think Matias is doing that already. I saw a video that he made with some words, some wisdom words from Don Francisco. If you all know who Don Francisco was, he had this super popular show. I think it was the most popular show on the planet back in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. And this guy had like Sábado Gigante, I think it was named. And my grandparents used to love watching that, you know, and it was a great, I think it was a 3-hour show, and they had all kinds of things going on. But anyway, Don Francisco had some, you know, wisdom words about, you know, being humble and admitting your shortcomings. All right. So today I want to share with you some words of encouragement for Subriel Matias. You know, just following that same idea that I had, sending that personal message to Subriel. I don't know if he's seen it. I don't know how to get in touch with, you know, his trainers or anything like that. If any of you guys know, just send it to me. Or, you know, if you know him personally in Puerto Rico, you know some of his people, just forward it to him. And you know, I'm nobody to give anybody you know, advice or anything like that. It's just my opinion, guys. I with sincere humility, I'm just sharing my thoughts. All right, my thoughts on what Subriel Matias should do next, and how a champion really behaves. How a real champion. I know he's a real champion. I know he's got the heart, and he's got that cria boricua, and he's got that mentality of never giving up. All right, so I think that he should, you know, get back on the horse immediately. Get back on the saddle immediately. Start training again. All right, talk to his public first, saying, you know what, I screwed up. I took this guy lightly. You know, I hung out with the wrong people before the fight. You know, I was distracted, and I had said it in this channel. I had mentioned that. Remember, guys, if you've been watching this channel for a while, I said the only way Subriel Matias loses if he's distracted in Puerto Rico, or nervous, or overcomes with all these sensations when he's fighting in front of his own people. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. The Subriel Matias we saw a few Saturdays ago, there's not a Subriel Matias we've been watching for years. So don't tell me, some of these guys, these haters that are saying, well, you know, he's a hype job, this and that. No, he's not, guys. That's not Subriel Matias. If Subriel Matias would have thrown what he usually throws, would have been, didn't gas out like he did, there's a lot of questions regarding his performance, and I think he's got to clear that with the people. Get that out, all right? And the people will forgive him, and the people will support him. What the people don't forgive and forget are arrogant champions like Canelo Alvarez. That's why Canelo doesn't have a support from the majority of people in Mexico. Some people like him just because he's Mexican, but in all honesty, they like humble people like some of the other great champions that come out of that great boxing country. And the same with Puerto Rico and other countries. You know, Philippines with Manny Pacquiao, how he helps people. You know, he is a man of the people, and we see Subriel Matias as a man of the people. You know, a guy that you could talk to, you know, humble and all this stuff, and all of a sudden we saw a different persona that night of the fight. That was not the Subriel Matias we're used to watching. Completely different from his entrance to his performance. It was like night and day, guys. So for Subriel Matias, I have some words of encouragement, some more words of encouragement. I hope he gets these messages, or this motivational videos. Let's put it that way. But I really want him Uh, and I'm asking for myself as a fan. I really would like him to address his people. Whichever platform he wants to use, social media, Instagram. But yeah, an open message, and where he explains, where he's at, what his plans are. I know he's not going to give up. He's 32 years old, so I think he's got to stay active as much as he can. And I had mentioned before 4 or 5 fights. I know that's a little bit much, but it's just my point. He's got to be active. That's what I'm trying to say. Active as much as he can. Right now, if I were him, I would say, I would take one more week, a couple of weeks more, and then get back on the horse again and get back to training until my promoter or my, whoever's running my career. And that's another thing. Somebody dropped the ball here. Somebody dropped the ball. Not only Matias, but his manager, his promoter dropped the ball. How can you not have, a rematch clause against this dude? Just in case anything like this would happen. Now Eddie Hearn's going to take, this fighter and he's not going to rematch Subriel Matias. So that's something that he's got to learn a little bit, Matias, with all these things. And it's just like people in life. We learn our lessons from the hard hits we get in life. We learn our lessons the hard way sometimes. And I know he has, by being in jail and getting shot and all that stuff. Well, this is another hit. Another hit to his persona. Another obstacle that he has to face. And he's, as a champion, as we expect him to react, as a champion should react, he's got to get up. But first, talk to the people. Talk to your fans. Talk to all those who supported you. Talk to all those guys that came thousands of miles away, flew from stateside all the way to Puerto Rico to watch you become victorious and continue your great boxing career. So anyway, let's get back into what the motivational part of this video is for Subriel Matias. And I was looking at some of these great quotes from some great people, some great athletes, some great individuals, all right? And Muhammad Ali said, "I never thought of losing, but now that it's happened, the only thing is to do right. That my obligation to all the people who believe in me. We all have to take defeats in life. Only a man who knows what it's like to be defeated can reach down to the bottom of his soul and come up with the extra ounce of power it takes to win when the match is even." Muhammad Ali said that. Michael Jordan said, "I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeeded. If you quit once, it becomes a habit. Never quit." Nelson Mandela said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fail." Arnold Schwarzenegger, "Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strength. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength." And Vince Lombardi, one of the greatest coaches of all time, said, "It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up." And as you all know, Rocky Balboa, famous quote from the Rocky movies, "It ain't about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done." Anyway, guys, these quotes are meant to motivate our great champion, Subriel Matias. Hope he's able to see some of our comments. Not only this channel, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of good vibes going to him, supporting him. And I know he feels down. I know how I would feel, and I share his same feelings. A lot of people are trying to knock him now that he has lost. But it's not over, chap. It's not over by a long shot. All right. So we trust you're gonna come back. Please remember that we're here to support you. Stay with your coach. Listen to your corner. Train hard. Stop hanging out with people that don't take anything. Don't give anything in return. You know, people that have different ideas of what success is all about. Remain humble. All right. Those are my comments to you. I hope you can take this with a grain of salt and you can be understanding that what we want for you is the best. Anyway, guys, this is what I had for today, Monday. Some words of encouragement for our champion, Subriel Matias. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. We're almost at 2,000 subs. Come on, guys. I know a lot of you guys are listening in, but I'd like you to also subscribe so we can continue making some good content for you. Until next time, this is Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride, saying hasta la vista. God bless you all, and peace.